Imagine waking up under a sky that looks exactly like ours. The same blue atmosphere, the same white clouds drifting slowly above vast oceans, green continents stretching toward the horizon. Now imagine that this world is not Earth, but a planet orbiting a distant star, light years away from everything we have ever known. For centuries, humanity has looked up at the night sky and wondered a single question: are we alone? And if we are not, could we ever call another world home? In recent decades, astronomers have discovered thousands of planets beyond our solar system. Among them are worlds that seem strangely familiar: rocky planets, oceans of liquid water, temperatures that might allow life to exist. Some of them are even called Earth's cousins. But what if one day we found something even more extraordinary? A planet truly identical to Earth. Would we survive there? Would life grow the same way? Or would an alien world, no matter how similar, change everything about what it means to be human? To answer that, we must begin with the most basic requirement of life: the air we breathe. An Earth-like planet would need a stable atmosphere, rich in oxygen and nitrogen, balanced in just the right proportions. Without it, our first breath would also be our last. This invisible ocean of gas would have to protect the surface from deadly cosmic radiation and trap enough heat to keep the world warm, like a planetary blanket. During the day, the sky would glow blue, scattering sunlight in familiar patterns. At night, gases would hold onto warmth, preventing the oceans from freezing solid. Only under such delicate conditions could life, as we know it, take hold. Then comes water, the true foundation of biology. Rivers carving valleys, rain nourishing forests, vast oceans regulating climate. Every cell in our body depends on liquid water, and so would every organism on this new world. But even on a twin Earth, water might behave in unfamiliar ways. Perhaps violent storms would rage across warm equatorial seas. Perhaps massive ice caps would stretch farther toward the tropics. Climate would shape evolution, just as it has shaped life on our own planet. Temperature, seasons, and weather would determine where life could thrive. A slightly stronger greenhouse effect could turn the world into a steaming jungle. A slightly weaker one could plunge it into a frozen age. Balance would be everything. Another invisible force would quietly govern every movement: gravity. If this planet were only slightly larger than Earth, gravity would be stronger. Every step would feel heavier. Hearts would work harder. Bones would grow denser. Trees would be shorter and thicker, built to support their own weight. Animals would evolve powerful limbs, hugging the ground rather than leaping into the air. If gravity were weaker, the opposite would happen. Humans might grow taller and slimmer. Jumps would become effortless. Mountains could rise higher. Forests might stretch upward with delicate, towering trunks. Even the way we walk, run, and build cities would change. But the planet itself is only half the story. The other half is its star. If our twin Earth orbited a sun like our own, days and nights would feel comfortingly familiar. But if it circled a red dwarf, the most common type of star in the galaxy, the sky would glow with deep orange and crimson light. Sunsets would last for hours. Plants might evolve black or dark purple leaves to absorb every possible photon. Some worlds might even be locked in place, with one side in eternal daylight and the other in endless night, creating a narrow ring of twilight where life could exist. Light shapes biology. It dictates color, energy, rhythm, and time itself. And then there is the question that changes everything. What kind of life would arise? On Earth, all known life is built on carbon and water, but the universe may not be limited to our chemistry. On some worlds, life could be based on different elements, using solvents like methane or ammonia instead of water. Entire ecosystems might exist in conditions lethal to us. Imagine forests not of green leaves, but of dark crystalline structures. Imagine creatures that breathe gases toxic to humans. Imagine oceans of liquid hydrocarbons where alien organisms swim through frigid darkness, powered by chemistry we barely understand. Even on an Earth-like planet, evolution would not repeat itself exactly. Different gravity, radiation, atmosphere, and geological history would write a different biological story. The result could be familiar, and yet utterly strange. Now imagine that humans arrive. At first, we would build sealed habitats, protecting ourselves from unknown microbes and subtle chemical differences in the air. Over generations, however, our bodies would begin to adapt. In stronger gravity, humans might become shorter, broader, and more muscular. In weaker gravity, taller and more fragile. Skin tones could change under different ultraviolet radiation. Even our posture, our bones, and our hearts could evolve. Slowly, a new branch of humanity would emerge, shaped by a different sky. Our cities would change too. In high gravity, buildings would be low and wide, anchored firmly to the ground. In low gravity, slender towers could rise kilometers into the air. Atmospheric pressure would determine the thickness of walls, the size of windows, the very design of doors. Energy would come from alien suns, geothermal heat, and perhaps materials unknown on Earth. Culture, religion, and mythology would be born under unfamiliar constellations. Two moons might inspire twin deities. A giant ringed planet in the sky could become a symbol of eternity. But before any of this could happen, we face one overwhelming obstacle: distance. The nearest potentially habitable world, Proxima Centauri b, is more than 4 light-years away. With today's technology, the journey would take tens of thousands of years. Entire generations would be born and die in interstellar ships, never seeing the destination their ancestors set out to reach. In the far future, perhaps fusion engines, light sails, or technologies not yet imagined could shorten that journey. Perhaps one day, humans will cross the gulf between stars and step onto alien soil. And then, the final question will confront us. If a second Earth truly exists, if it is within our reach, would we leave the only world we have ever known? Earth is our cradle, our history, our home. Every myth, every memory, every achievement is tied to this blue planet. To leave it would be the greatest adventure in our species' history, and the greatest farewell. Yet the desire to explore is written into our DNA. From caves to continents, from oceans to the moon, humanity has always moved toward the unknown. One day, an astronaut may stand beneath an alien sky and look up to see a faint yellow star in the distance. Around it, a tiny blue dot will shine. That dot will be Earth. And in that moment, we will understand two truths at once: how precious our home truly is, and how unstoppable our journey into the universe has become.